Alright guys, I've got another bow review for you. This is not by any means a new bow, it's actually a 2008 model. But I figure if you're like me, you can't go to the store or the bow shop and pick up the latest and greatest because cash is kind of tight or something like that. And I thought I'd review a bow that is now a really good price point bow, used. And you can pick it up on eBay for about $250, maybe a little bit less than that even. And this bow is the Bowtech 82nd Airborne. There are a lot of different things I could say about this bow, but let me first start with the specifications. It has a 6.125 inch brace height on the bow. That is the distance measured from the back of the grip to the string. It is 36.5 inches axle to axle. It is IBO rated at 342 to 350 feet per second. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was one of the first bows to hit the 350 FPS mark, IBO. And it comes in a draw weight of anywhere from 50 to 60 pounds or 60 to 70 pounds. I have this bow set currently at 29 inches draw length, 60 pounds draw weight, and that seems to suit me pretty well. A couple of the features that Bowtech has on this bow are the in-velvet coating. This was the first, if not the second year that they came out with the in-velvet coating, and actually what the in-velvet coating does is it is a soft rubberized coating that's put on the bow, and when you feel it, you'd actually kind of think that it'd be really easy to chip, not very durable. But what I found, I've owned 3 or 4 different Bowtechs with the in-velvet coating on them, and none of them have had any peeling issues, chipping issues. The bows are actually remarkably durable. The coating is remarkably durable, and the camo is actually, it's a mossy oak camo, and it looks really great. This bow being 5 years old, the camo on this bow still looks awesome. And Bowtech has done a lot to this bow to really make it a favorable shooter. Some of the things that I'll come up there and show you. The Bowtech silencing kit usually comes on this bow. I've had it since removed and put on monkey tails. But one thing that Bowtech really does to kill the vibration, and I'll come up and show it to you, hopefully you can see it, is the rubber grommet here that the limb bolt slides down into, and it protects the limb from actually contacting the riser. And then inside the limb pocket here, they also have a little rubberized plastic piece to again absorb some of the vibration from a single limb model design. And when you shoot this bow, we're fixing to shoot it, but one of the things that you'll note is it's shooting 350 feet per second. It's got a short brace height. It's long axle to axle. All these things, it's got a long riser. All these things would make you think that this bow is going to rattle around in your hand. But when you shoot it, you will note that this bow is dead in the hand. It's actually kind of surprising given some of the specs on this bow, but this bow is really kind of conquers the vibration issue for a speed bow. Also, you'll note that this bow also has a cable roller guard system. It was also one of the first, Bowtech was one of the first companies, second to maybe Matthews, I believe, that came out with a roller guard system. It really aids in the smoothness of the draw cycle, and that's something you'll need. This bow is also a module-based draw length change, and a word to the wise regarding that, I shoot left-handed, so it's no trouble for me to go to a bow shop and pick up a module that they've got in stock, because most of the time they haven't sold the left-handed version. But if you're buying a right-handed version, most of the time you'll pick up these used, and the bow shop doesn't have the modules for them anymore. Excuse me. So if the bow that you're buying is not set currently at your draw weight, you really need to go on eBay, and there are some machine shops and mechanic shops that have machined out the Bowtech modules for you, and it's not really a hard to find the modules, but you just need to make sure that you can pick up the modules for this bow because they are becoming more difficult to find. And you can find a module chart on Bowtech's website. They have a PDF file on there that you can go on and you can find the right module number for the bow that you're shooting and how that corresponds to your draw length. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shoot this bow for you. I have chronographed this bow, and I chronographed it at 60 pounds and 29 inches draw length. And I'm shooting a whisker biscuit rest, so that kind of kills some of the speed. And I'm about a 400 grain arrow, so that's also going to kill some of the speed from your IBO specs. But this bow chronographed at these specifications, 60 pounds, 29 inches draw length, through a whisker biscuit with the stuff on the string, peep sight, D-loop, all that stuff. Chronographed at around 287 feet per second, which for this bow and these specifications, I don't quite know if it'll translate to meet IBO speed, but one thing that you need to know about this bow is it hits hard. It smacks the target. You can tell a notable difference. I've got a Hoyt Maxxis 31, a Bear Attack, and a PSE Bow Madness, and this bow is the hardest hitting bow of each of those bows, and all of those bows are newer than this bow. So this bow carries a massive amount of kinetic energy and power down range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it for you, kind of note some of the drawing characteristics. If there were one negative aspect to this bow, it would be the draw cycle. The draw cycle is extremely smooth, but it is very heavy. I'm only pulling 60 pounds and it really feels like 70 pounds. The Hoyt Maxxis 31 at 60 pounds doesn't even feel close to this bow. So if you struggle with arm strength, you've got shoulder issues or something like that, I'm telling you right now, shy away from this bow because it is a stiff pull. It is smooth though, so I'll go ahead and draw it back. Smooth all the way back with a really short valley. This bow does not have hardly any creep on it, but it sets in the back wall really comfortable. The draw stop actually stops on the limb, so the back wall is as solid as you will find in a bow. And that really aids in accuracy. It makes the shooting platform really sturdy because you can pull back, anchor, and maintain your drawback, and the bow's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to move. But if you're going to bend over at the waist or something like that, this bow might want to go on you. So it's something you really need to keep in mind. I'm going to shoot it and let you see how loud it is. And what you actually heard there, my target is out of picture, but it is about 5 feet away from me. So most of what you heard there was actually the arrow hitting the target, because this bow is really, really, really quiet. It does carry some noise with it. It's a really fast bow, so that's to be expected. It's going to be a little bit louder than a slower type bow. But it shoots really good, shoots really stable. This, because it's a long axle-to-axle bow, I wouldn't even be afraid to take this out to a 3D shoot and shoot this. I have not done so, but this bow is extremely, extremely accurate out to 40, 50, and even 60 yards. This bow will really group. It's very forgiving. Do not let that 6 1/4 inch brace height scare you away from this bow. Because it's so long axle-to-axle, it's a very stable and very accurate shooting platform made by Bowtech. A couple more features on this bow that I would like to note. It does have the factory string stop that if you shoot the bow enough, the rubber will wear off, so you have to contact Bowtech to get another rubberized piece for the string stop. But what you can do is it has a stainless steel insert for both the stabilizer and for an additional string stop down here on the bottom below the grip. And I'll pull the bow up there so you can kind of see the steel insert. And that really aids to make the bow more durable. You're not tying into the riser. The riser hasn't been drilled into to put this steel insert. You haven't got threads drilled into the riser, and my opinion, it actually kind of aids in the durability of the bow. It also aids in the stability of the riser, and it takes some of the vibration away, believe it or not. But this bow is a really good shooter. I'm going to draw it back one more time so you can kind of see again, and I'll accent the draw cycle one more time for you, just to kind of show you. Again, it's a very stiff cycle, but it's very solid. The grip feels really nice. It's not too wide. It's a little bit wider than the PSE grip. If you've ever shot a PSE, you know what I'm talking about, the newer PSEs. But it is a two-piece wood, laminated wood grip. And it's just really solid. Really, really solid at the back wall. I'm going to go ahead and shoot it. And there's no vibration once again. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself at this point, but there's no vibration once again. One thing that you'll note with these Bowtechs that are not split limb design is that they do suffer from a marginal amount of cam lean. There's no way to really get that out. I've done a lot of reading, I've done a lot of tuning on this bow, I've done a lot of shooting with this bow. I've actually had two of these bows, and both of them had the same issue. I don't know that it really affects the accuracy. Like I said, the bow shoots really good. But what I have noticed with both of these bows is that the serving will separate down by the cams faster, because as that string comes back onto the cam from the shot cycle, you're getting a little bit more serving wear because there is cam lean. There's a little bit more friction that exists between the string and the cam. So that's something to think about. If you buy a used bow, definitely check the serving. Make sure that you have accounted for that in the price, because serving can get quite expensive. $1 per inch, or yeah, $1 per inch is what my bow shop charges, and you can end up paying $15 to get one cam served. You know, so you really need to pay attention to whether or not the serving is frayed or anything like that. And you don't want to shoot. This is a very aggressive bow, very stiff draw cycle. There's a lot of force in this bow. You do not want to shoot it without the proper serving applied to the bow. Anyway, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. If you like the video, go ahead and comment. Hopefully I've described this bow in enough detail that you can possibly go out and buy one, make an educated decision regarding it. I wouldn't shy away from it. I was able to harvest, and I'll show you here, I was able to harvest a relatively nice 8-point. Not a huge buck, but the buck didn't go 10 yards after I shot him with this bow. In fact, the arrow from this bow actually knocked the buck over. I hit him high in his vitals, and it just bowled him over almost like a bullet would. So this bow is really packing some punch. If you like a speed bow, if you're a speed kind of guy and you like a lot of kinetic energy, and you also want a bow that you can go out and you can 3D shoot in, then this is definitely the bow for you. But if you do, again, struggle with shoulder issues or any kind of pull or strength issues, you might want to stay away from this bow, because it's going to be it's definitely a beast in your hands. I mean, it is really a hard-hitting, fast-flying bow. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day. My name's Andrew Gregory. This is a Bowtech 82nd Airborne review.